Hey YouTube, this is Pastry Plays here. I'm recording this after the second 4v4 event has started, and I'm here to talk to you about some of the interesting things that have been announced and talked about by the devs, and what we can expect with the future updates. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, these first couple ones are going to be dealing with Scrap Run. With the first one we're going to be looking at is by AA Mike. Hello, fellow drifters. Here's a peek at the new concept for the Scrap Run entrance we're cooking up. Our goal was to make the entry point feel like a true spectacle, something far more exciting and welcoming than what's currently in place. Visually, we're leaning into bold theme park style flair, while still staying grounded in the clean, sci-fi shaped language that defined the rest of the district. Also, the previous entrance did little to funnel players into the space. We wanted to use triangular forms and directional signage to naturally guide the player toward a now expanded entry gate as they drift into the main event. All in all, hopefully a can't miss spot as drifters move along the Rainbow Bridge on their tour. So, if we take a look at the image right here, we can see this thing is huge. It looks great. And I'm so glad they're actually changing it, because at the moment it's kind of boring. Most people don't even notice it, but I'm glad that they're even changing the color palette, giving Scrap Run its own color, which is, they seem to be going for pink. I can vibe with it. Pink is a fine color, not quite used in the color wheel yet. We can see some concepts for a logo, what the current one is, yada yada. Yeah, so far I'm really liking it, and you could see the entrance there. There's a little reference picture with like what the player size is. Just look at how big the entrance is compared to that guy. It's crazy. And on the left we can see a bit of reference images that they used and whatnot. But all in all, I think this will be a great change in the future when they manage to get it in. Moving on, we got this one from Stream Drift Sky. Hello, fellow drifters. Here's what we're cooking up for Scrap Run. Number 1, we have hired contractors to work on brand new Scrap Run layouts with the goal of having rotating Scrap Run levels. You can see some of the contractors' work already in the latest version of Scrap Run, the cannon, for example. We have discussed in public chats that we wanted to do randomized Scrap Run layouts, and behind the scenes, we are still doing work that will both allow us to rapidly iterate on brand new authored layouts and also get us closer to having wacky and random layouts. However, in the short term, you guys can expect to see new authored layouts coming soon. So that basically means they've got the professionals working on the best layout for Scrap Run. And I think what they have right now is pretty good, but I'm glad to see that they're going to have more randomized levels, different layouts to Scrap Run in the future. That's going to be fantastic. That's what I've been asking for since it came out. Moving on though, we got number 2. We are working on improving the existing functionality of traps. You may have noticed that the spinner traps can sometimes have weird teleporting behavior, and the collision of them with the ball launchers are finicky. All of that is known, and we are going to make them better soon. So basically, what they're saying is, they're gonna make I'm guessing they're making the traps more interactable with other traps, like traps that can interact with traps. That'd be pretty interesting. But it also is saying that they're gonna try and fix some of the bugs that have been causing problems in Scrap Run. Number 3, we are planning on shifting Scrap Run from being event-based. This means that if you have around 5 players who want to play Scrap Run, you will be able to work together and open Scrap Run for as long as you want to play it. This is fantastic. No longer will we have to wait for specific times, and this also makes it to where the devs don't have to worry about scheduling Scrap Run events over and over again. They can use their time on doing other more interesting things. So glad to see that change. Can't wait for that to happen. Number 4, we are going to implement a form of team ratio balancing. The current plan is that you are able to volunteer to be scrapper, but by the time the game begins, if there wasn't enough scrapper volunteers, then people will be picked at random to be a scrapper for that round. Yeah, it sucks to be forced to be a scrapper when you don't want to be, but the hope is this will make the game mode much better overall. In addition, we want to make being a scrapper more and more fun, so ideally, everybody wants to volunteer. This is great news because at the moment, you can get rounds where there's nobody being a scrapper or there's only one person. One person cannot stop 40 people. That's not going to happen. So I'm glad to see that they're doing something about it. And to be perfectly honest, I'm fine. If I'm forced to play scrap runner for a round, sure, I can do that. As long as it's not like it keeps putting me in there. So they got to make sure they change up which player does it every time. Number 5, we are working on improving checkpoint clarity. What does it mean if a checkpoint is locked? What does it mean if a checkpoint is already opened, but now is closed? We want to improve all of this, and your feedback will drive the solution. So essentially, they want some type of indicator that will tell newer players or players already in the game whether a checkpoint has been used or not. It would also be nice to have a clear sign that it's open. So that is a good change. I expect to see that pretty soon, though. I don't think that'll be too difficult for the devs to do, but I might be wrong. Number 6. This is just a random idea, and is not currently being worked on. But you know those buckets of water balloons in Gorilla Tag? Imagine buckets of impulse grenades. Exciting stuff. Am I right? Yes, it is. I think this would be a great addition to the Scrapper arsenal. Being able to throw impulse grenades at the players while they're running, instead of just having a ball launcher that is very hard to use. So I would love to see something similar to that in the game. At the moment, though, they do say it's not being worked on, but things can change pretty fast. That's all I really got for Scrap Run. We're going to go ahead and move quickly on to what we can expect in the next update. So this one here is from Ender himself. If you're not familiar with Discord, Ender's like the main guy. Everyone vibes with Ender. But anyways, Ender says, Drifters! We are shifting away from our monolithic monthly updates and moving towards pushing some quality of life improvements at a faster pace, rather than locking them into the bigger gameplay drops. This will take some adjustment from both the team and you. However, we believe this approach will lead to a more consistent and enjoyable experience in Orion Drift. We've already started this process the past month with multiple quality of life updates around voice moderation, drift ball, netcode improvements, changes to quest kiosks, bug fixes, etc. What does this mean? For example, one update might focus on balancing or bug fixes. The next might introduce a small quality of life feature or community requested change. Larger updates and new content will still happen. You'll just see more frequent, smaller updates in between. This is a good change. If there's a problem, gotta get it fixed as soon as possible. So I'm glad to see they're not locking it behind an update wall. But now onto the next update. Our next regular update is planned at the end of September and includes the following. 4v4 arenas on the Orion. I've been playing the event. Totally worth playing. Way better than the 3v3 arenas. Hands down, no questions asked. 4v4 arena bot matchmaking. So you know the bot that's like next to the party box when you first enter the district? That's going to be there for the 4v4. Nice. New skybox. Okay, smaller feature, but it is nice. If you looked in the 4v4 event server, you'll see what it looks like. I think it looks quite nice. Personally, I think they should rotate what skybox appears in each server. I think that'd be way better, but that's just me. New pro quests, that's standard stuff for updates. Plus, one little thing that has been requested a lot by the community recently. Now, what is that thing? Let's take a look. Just today, earlier today, they released a look at a new progression system. Something we've wanted to deliver to you folks, really since last year, is a meteor reward for your accomplishments. Something to show for your hours of investment. Yeah, we've had challenges that have awarded badges, and the XP system, which really was a temp thing to hold you over until this new stuff. But nothing quite hit home as much as we wanted. What's in the works for November is an entirely new system that lets you earn hypercubes as you enter the Orion array to engage in parkour challenges, driftball, scrap run, and so on. This new currency can be taken to the mainframe to unlock new items, ones that have function and aren't just for show. It's all still in the works, but you get the idea. Our philosophy is that items and features that impact gameplay can be earned through your skill and dedication, rather than being exclusive to real money purchases. You'll have to earn them over time by returning for weekly content, but as you engage in more and different activities, as well as improve your skills, the amount you can earn will increase. Go for those gold medals. Okay, so this is actually fantastic because I honestly have felt for the longest time that challenges just aren't worth doing, especially since they sometimes reset the challenges every update, add new ones for you to do, just for them to get changed and removed the next update. So I'm glad to see that they're actually putting in some reward for doing these challenges, even if they are temporary. This is just a taste. There's a lot more we're eager to deliver. Hope this gets you amped for when it drops next month. And you can actually see here, the 4v4 Arena update will happen on September 24th. We have a date. It's coming out in like a week. A week and a bit, actually. More like 10 days, but whatever. It's going to come out in 10 days. So that is fantastic. Glad to see that they're working on this. We're going to get the progression system. Not the next update, but the update after that, I think. Alright, now we're going to take a look at a comment that Ender gave us about this new progression system. And he's basically asking what you would like to see, what the people would like to see inside the network, which is the basically reward place that you get all these new things. And a couple things he has wrote down here. I have a list. Number 1, animated patterns. Love this idea. I think that'd be cool. Number 2, hand carving trails. Alright, whatever. Tackling effects. Nope. I don't really care for that. Be honest. Goal effects. Now that is more... We've needed a goal explosion for so long and it's still not in the game. Number 5, new colors and teams. Yes, please. I'm getting tired of the same 4 or 5 teams that keep appearing in every single lobby. So if we could have more customization on what type of team we can use, that would be great. Shoulder cosmetics, sure, why not? Number 7, heartball patterns. I think that would actually be pretty cool. Can you imagine putting your camo pattern onto a heartball? That would be pretty cool. Number 8, getting signatures from players. I don't really know what that means. Number 9, holdables. We're going to get holdables, guys. Don't worry. Number 10, unique badges to unlock. I don't really care for the badges, to be honest. But if more other people do, that is definitely something. Especially ones with color. If we get badges with color, then I'd say it's worth getting. Number 11, face pattern / color. I think it's a great idea. We're going to have to see what the devs think later on. Because remember, these are just ideas. that one developer has wrote down. This doesn't mean that they're being worked on, that they're confirmed, that they're going to happen. These are just things that the community has said and the devs have taken into consideration. Number 12. Maybe add vaulted patterns as final unlocks. I hard disagree. I think the point of the vaulted patterns is it's kind of like a Minecon cape for Minecraft. If you were there, 10, 13 years ago, I forget how long it's been, and you get that cape, you should be the only one who has it, I don't think newer players should be allowed to have it. I feel like that's kind of what should happen with these vaulted patterns as well. They should be kept for the people that were there early enough to get them. Number 13, entrance effects when entering game modes. Sure, why not? I don't really think it's that necessary though. 14, separation between head and face customization. Pretty sure that's already a thing, guys. Optics and hats are separated, so I don't know what that's about. Number 15, boosting / movement features, jetpack. I think that'd be fun. Having movement-based items when outside of an arena would be fantastic. Keyword, outside the arena, because movement-based objects working inside of arenas is broken, and that would just make the game not fun for other players. Number 16, and this is the last one, full body cosmetics. I think this is a good idea. Having a full body cosmetic, like a sweater or a hoodie or something, I think that's a good idea. But yeah, that's all I really have to say for the upcoming features. There's not really much more besides spectator, but most people already know about that. And yeah, thank you all for watching today's video. I just thought I would go on a random spiel. This took way longer to make than I thought. And yeah, see you in the next video. I'm taking a nap. Goodbye.